Yeah, I'm in my apartment. There's a bit of a
Yeah.
storm outside, so hopefully the wind isn't too loud.
Oh, is it like a rainy season in China too?
Well, it shouldn't be, but it's been raining a lot since March, actually. It's finally been nice this week, but most of the spring has been very wet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here in Japan, mostly the rainy season start at beginning of June and goes until July. And
Okay.
the typhoons comes as well. You don't get any typhoons over there, right? In south of You are in south of
Some
China right now, right?
south of China, yeah. Sometimes we have them. There were, yeah, I don't know. There's been a few over the last months.
Nothing too crazy.
Not for me yet, but
Yeah.
like Hong Kong and Shenzhen flooded, all the metros flooded and stuff
Oh yeah,
last in the autumn, last autumn.
yeah. Okay, you're more in like in the middle, like not so close to the coast, right?
I'm on the coast. I think we just got lucky here
Oh, right,
last
right.
time. They were advising us to tape our windows and everything. Like
Yeah.
they thought the windows would explode, but my place was all right.
Over here in Japan, I also get crazy sometimes, and but not about the windows, but things could start to fly. Like there's a lot of, I don't know in China, but here in Japan, like all the electrical lines, power lines, is outside, not underground. So it's quite scary during the typhoons. You know, you look up and there's all these power cables going over you. You just like shit, man. This
Oh
is
wow!
crazy. You know, yeah. I don't know how it's in China, in Brazil, it's like that, but I think in Australia, you don't know if you remember, most of the power cables were underground. Yeah,
I think they're underground here too. Like I can't think of the last time I saw any, so they must
yeah,
be
yeah.
underground.
it
Everything's
it's
new
something.
here, right? So it's like I don't
Yeah,
know.
man, that's what I want to talk
Everything's
about.
modern.
The city you're living right now seems like is everyone talks about Tokyo, but actually it's Shenzhen, right? Shenzhen is looks like leading the whole like the future thing when it comes to big cities, right?
Yeah, it's pretty new. I think it's like 40, under 45 years old since it's kind of like grown. It used to be just like a fishing village.
Hmm.
So everything's new. Yeah, it's cool for skating.
Yeah, everything was well projected, right? That's well planned and well uh,
Yeah,
thought. Yeah,
yeah,
so
that
it's
too. Yeah, it's cool.
nice, man. So how long you been there now in China?
Close to 6 years now. I think it's 5.5 years right now.
Damn, that's long already.
Yeah, time
Mm.
flies. I don't know where it went. It seems like 1 year.
I think you were one of the first skaters. I mean, I couldn't say that, but start like jumping from one country to the other. Since you left Canada, I think you never went back, or maybe we went for a bit. But you've been living overseas probably for half of your profession or all your professional skate life.
Mm. I don't know. It's like 16 years now. So
Hmm.
that's about half of how long I've been skating, or maybe less. But yeah, for doing tricks and stuff, yeah, about that.
All right, that's a lot, man. Do you question sometimes what is normal and what is not after being seeing so many cultures and different way of living?
Yeah. Actually, when I got here, I was ready for just to have stability, to have my own place and like not unpack my bags every week. So that was pretty
Hmm.
nice. Just settle into my own place. And then with Canada, I usually go home once a year. It used to be twice, but lately it's been about a year in
Hmm.
between. And then like COVID kind of screwed with it for a while, but now it's all good
You
again.
you were there right during the COVID, right? During the
Yeah,
COVID time.
yeah, the whole
Th-
time. Actually, I was in Japan when it really started. We were all in
Yeah,
Nagoya, I think,
yeah, yeah.
for that whatever that was called, the big contest they had. What's
Chimera,
that called? Chimera.
Chimera.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And then
everyone
we came
started
out.
wearing
We came to
masks in the
yeah,
hotel and
yeah.
everything.
It was 2020. It's January, so it was just the beginning.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
I think the very first case of Japan, Tokyo was around that time because it was Chinese New Year, so a lot of tourists coming and
exactly,
going. And
exactly. Yeah,
then and then that's where we started, yeah. And then after a couple of months after that, I think the first state of emergency in Japan, I mean Tokyo, was the same year in May or June.
Okay.
And but it wasn't that crazy here, man. When the government started to lock down, it wasn't on a lockdown. Like business were not shut. I mean, they were allowed to stay open until 8 p.m. And after
Yeah.
that, they just like they just like, oh, please, can you shut the doors? So most of the restaurants did, and bars as well. But there was a lot of bars that they stayed open. They just closed the door, but you could go in. Just
Right.
yeah, it wasn't that crazy. But I think in China was very serious, the lockdown there, right?
Well, not for me, but I think a lot of other cities like Shanghai and some places, I had friends that were living through hell. But for me, it's kind of like life as normal. I've been living at the beach. Like I lost my job when COVID happened because they were, I don't know, like first we were working from home and then they were kind of like downsizing or I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved to the beach and then it was like it didn't exist around the beaches. So nobody really wore masks, nobody cared. And I traveled a lot through China during that time doing movies and commercials and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The only thing here was like you'd have to wear a mask to go in the metro or on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Mm-hmm.
I would just take it off and drink beer. And then they, as long as you had something in your mouth, like that guy that ate a French fry on the flight for hours and hours, that
Yeah,
was kind of me. I'd walk in somewhere and then crack my beer, and then they'd be like, "Oh,
it was
okay,
fine.
never
Yeah,
mind."
yeah. Now you're fine. Yeah, yeah. Well, you're lucky because there was those two other Australian guys. Now I keep forgetting. I think Josh
Uh,
and
Rob and Josh.
yeah, they were in a place where they had to be like sent to. Oh, actually, when they went back to Australia, they were sent to an island before for quarantine or something like that. That's pretty hectic, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were in Wuhan, I guess, when it happened. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
like
that's
the
where
center,
they.
or supposedly.
Yeah, they're crazy. Ben, and before China, you were in Australia, or no, you were in Thailand, right?
Yeah, I spent most of a year in Moscow actually before coming here
Oh,
from
and
Thailand, and then I was in Moscow, and then I came here.
I didn't know that about that. Did you skate there quite often?
Yeah, yeah, a lot. I was staying
Yeah.
with an ex-girlfriend, and she actually had a skate park on the main floor just outside the apartment. So even if I skated by myself, I went quite often actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. Do you have footage from that time?
Yeah, I think I made some kind of wheel edit at the park out the window. And then
Mm-hmm.
there were like some events, like a Zaitsev memorial session, and there's
Mm-hmm.
a pretty strong crew there. So I went to a few things with all of them. Josh came, and we filmed some street that's still not released, but one of these days you'll see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your edits just come out of nowhere, and everybody, whoa, another
Yeah,
edit.
yeah. I hate
But that
editing. But what can you do?
you don't like editing?
No, it's just too monotonous. Like I don't really want to sit at the computer, and I don't know. I think I'm too picky about things too, so it's just a slow grind for me. I don't like it. I'd rather hold a camera.
Yeah. Oh, filming at yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I don't like editing. I remember. Well, I'm a graphic designer, but I hate being seen in front of the computer too. I don't know. I got
Right.
yeah. I don't know.
It
Yeah.
it's a cool like profession for the freedom. You can work from anywhere, but
Hmm.
you got to do it.
Yeah.
So
But you
skate
you
edits, I
sorry. Yeah.
don't
Sorry.
know.
Yeah.
That just like it's not exactly very lucrative, so it's hard to motivate sometimes.
True. That's true. Yeah, man. It is. Yeah, it needs a lot of motivation for you to keep moving and keep on the on the right path, and
Yeah.
yeah, and just making money and not getting lost with uh other thoughts, and then because you're just at
Yeah.
home, like I say, you can work from anywhere, so you can distract it very easily. Have to be very
It's like
disciplined. Yeah.
millions of decisions and choices and stuff, and I get kind of paralyzed. I don't know what to do.
But you were very good at that, man. What was your first edit? Do you
Thanks.
remember? I mean that.
Yeah, actually, yeah. In high school, I made a a street section. It's on a VHS somewhere at my parents' place.
Okay.
I cut a street section in Regina. That was the first time I did my own editing. That would be 97 probably.
Yeah.
So 25 years. Is that right? No, uh, thir- 31 years. Is that
Yeah,
it?
31.
I'm
Yeah, I was
so
going to say,
confused
yeah.
right now.
No, no, time now is pretty hard to
No,
calculate
no,
nowadays.
that
Yeah.
should be an
So
easy one. 24 and 3, 27. Yeah.
27, yeah. Crazy, man, because
So yeah.
you get few edits out there that got, yeah, it was pretty viral. The Canada one, Vancouver, right? And then there is one in Barcelona, one in Thailand that I think they cut the music off on YouTube.
Oh yeah, Bangkok. That's my favorite one, and they cut
My
the music.
favorite one too. I was going to say that, man. That's my favorite one, man. Yeah.
I mean, technically we're stealing the music, so but I like the artists that just take the profit sharing.
True.
That's cool. You don't need to just
Yeah.
block it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But that was one of my favorite one. And yeah, in Canada and Barcelona,
Thanks.
though all of these ones you actually did the editing, right?
Yeah, pretty most of my stuff I guess I did the editing. Except
Mm-hmm.
like Jonas or Tom West or those kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Urquhart. Uh, who else made something of us? Oh, and the Cayenne guys and stuff. But yeah, usually if I'm shooting something, I usually edit it too.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah, I'm saying that because you say that you don't like editing, but all your edits that everyone knows that you do the editing, and they're pretty good, you know. And then, but you
Oh,
don't like it,
thanks.
you know? Yeah. Same
Yeah,
as
I
with this.
mean,
Sorry. Yeah.
once it's more than half done, then I enjoy it. But it takes a while to get there for me. Once it has like
When
some flow and it's just yeah, then I don't know. Then I can enjoy it sometimes.
so you don't when you are skating, you're not actually thinking about the editing, right? How the edit gonna done or which music you're gonna use when you're skating. You just pretty
Uh,
much focus.
Usually I kind of have it all in mind. Actually, it depends, I guess.
Mhm.
Sometimes just the spot calls for a trick, but a lot of times I'll kind of have a whole idea first.
Okay, so that make
But
it easier when it comes to editing, right?
uh,
No, no, not
yeah,
really.
you'd think so. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an enigma for me. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'm just,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like paralyzed when I start editing.
Yeah,
Actually, if I edit overnight, I tend to get through it. So sometimes I'll
yeah,
sit down with like popcorn and beers or something and then just
yeah,
make
yeah,
an effort to spend the entire night editing. And by the morning, kind of, then I'm feeling good about it.
yeah. Editing or doing any work at the computer feels like it's better to do at night because you're not wasting the sunlight outside or a beautiful day, you
That's
know. And
it. Yeah.
then
When I was in Canada, it was a lot easier in the winters. I enjoyed it then. But
yeah,
now I've been like planting myself on coastlines in warm places. So I look out the window and I want to go be outside.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's pretty hard. You also with your pro models when it comes to skate and also wheels, you decide all the design and way before. So I remember when I met you in Vine Street and you had your pro wheel at that time. But you say when your pro wheel came out at that time, you say you already had the idea for the next pro wheel that you didn't know when it's gonna come out. And I remember was the Polaroid one with pictures, something
Oh
like that.
yeah, the Viewmaster, those old
Yeah,
3D.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think you were talking about that one when you say, "Oh, I have an idea. The idea gonna be like that or something." Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
love
you,
making wheels, man, especially because anything goes, right? Like a skate has to be a skate, but a wheel can be any type of picture on a circle.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff.
So how many
I
wheels do you
have,
have right now, Mel?
I don't know. I think it's like 24 or 25 or something. Actually, I'm not sure that my red ones are out. The ones that come on my skates, I don't know if they're actually out yet in the shops. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
haven't seen you.
something
Yeah,
should be
I
out
haven't.
soon, if not already.
Yeah, because I was going to say what's the design on that one because I never seen it outside of the
Oh,
skate.
that was the theme this year was a movie
Hmm.
inspiration. So I chose Blade Runner,
Oh,
and
cool.
it's just like sort of the Blade Runner font and colors, but it says my name on it and
Hmm.
the wheel size. I made it like like it's almost invisible on the wheel because I think wheels on skates look cooler when they're not all filled with graphics. So it's like
True.
kind of hard to see unless you're holding it in your hand.
Yeah, yeah. It's something it starts spinning you. That's it. It's gone. It's all become one color on one color, right? I mean the
Right.
graphic.
Yeah.
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 So you did it with the image with the color similar to the color of the wheel. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Usually I just do it with Photoshop. I never actually learned Illustrator. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how they do how they send all the things to the manufacturer. So I usually just make something on Photoshop and then send it to the power side designers
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of like convert it to, um, what do you call that?
Vector.
Vector. Yeah, they convert it to vector art. And then we'll like talk through it but most of my stuff is like like I'll take their vector and then Photoshop my little change on it and then send it back, and then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
gotta do their thing. I just never took the time to learn that
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
That's much better than editing, right? That's so process of designing.
Yeah, I love doing that. I love designing stuff, skates, wheels, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
anything like that.
What's
Because
your
it's not
favorite?
as many. Like
Mm.
in a way, a video is like 30 designs a second or whatever, right? Like there's so many more choices to be made
True.
when it's moving through time. So.
Yeah. You get stuck trying not to be perfect, right? You're trying to be every single shot perfect with the image.
Yeah, or I want, or like you spend an hour trying some idea and then you don't like it, and it feels like, oh, now you gotta go back and start over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite pro model with the wheel or skate?
I think this new one. I like
Yeah.
this new one. Yeah, I never used to like white skates, but they kind of grew on me.
They
So
they they a really special material. You say, right? I saw your review. You say like it's a one that shines in. It doesn't shine. I saw someone skating the other day. It doesn't. It's not that reflective, that strong, but it's subtle.
right,
And
yeah,
then it's not like
yeah,
oh
and you
blinding.
have to be like between the light source and the skate, so it's in the sunshine. If someone skates by, you probably won't. It won't reflect unless the sun is behind your head.
Yeah.
But that was just like an afterthought. I was at the factory here in Xiamen, one of the
Hmm.
power slide factories, and I saw that material laying around, and I thought like I was already making a white skate kind of space boot theme. Why
Okay.
not just put? Why not make it out of that material? But
Why
yeah,
I
it
cannot
turned out cool.
I cannot imagine that skate without that material now. If we have the same result.
It would pretty much look exactly the same, I think, except if you have a light pointing at it.
Okay. I
Like it
think the
was going to be
material.
the same
Mhm.
kind of material and just plain white.
Oh, I see. I see. You have a skin anyway, but it wouldn't be that reflective skin
Yeah,
that
I
you can
wanted a
get.
skin anyway because I like to have the two colors, like
Hmm.
the frame and sole different than the boot.
Yeah, yeah. Cool, man. Yeah, no, I love that one too. I'm skating Aeons now, and I don't know, since you
Yeah.
start skating Aeons, you kind of yeah, you love it like that's perfect. And then time to time, like, oh, let me try something else, and then you go try different skates. You're like, oh no, back to Aeons, and keep coming back to Aeons
Yeah.
for like for the past 3 years. I think I got your one, the Richie Eisler 72s,
Oh, cool. Nice.
and
Thank you.
the yeah, and I have one, and then I have Lomax 60s. I tried the 80s. I didn't like the Aeons 8. I don't know. I didn't, not that I didn't like it. I didn't find the purpose for this for them. Like I
Right.
just thought the wheels are too big. 72. I love the 72s. I put
Yeah, me
68.
too. With 68 wheels. Yeah, me too. Exactly.
Yeah, that's how
I
you
have a
start
set
the
of the.
whole power blade thing, right? With like 72s or 68 wheels, right?
I, th- I think they're still making all that stuff. Or you're asking, did I stop? I still have a pair over here. I have actually
Yeah.
two pairs that I can see from here. I have everything, man. 80s, 125s, off road, everything
Yeah.
you can. I never
Yeah.
sell. I sometimes give them away, but otherwise I keep everything and just like make different
Really?
setups. And yeah, I think I have like 18 pairs of skates in this apartment right now.
Damn.
Last
Well,
I
if you
checked.
move, that's why you want to settle somewhere because always you move your stuff around, you know.
Oh man, I've left skates all over the world. So many
Yeah, yeah.
pairs everywhere, but I was too heavy to carry them on.
Hmm.
But
Man,
I
yeah,
could
you
just
been.
give them away. I'm not attached. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was going to
Sorry.
say that. I was going to say that, like everywhere, like you just give it away, but at the same time, it's like giving away a part of you, right? Like, maybe for you, like for me, every skate has a little bit of history, so I just like to look back, even if you're not even using. I look back, oh yeah, I remember doing that with
Yeah,
that skates,
I
skating at
miss
that
certain
place.
setups for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely miss some. But I used to feel that way. I think I've been kind of spoiled with the sheer number of skates by now, so I don't know. Unless it's like a setup that I really like, I'm okay with using them for a bit and then handing them off or taking the
Hmm.
parts off and making something different out of them.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, it must be tough for you to keep all the skates anyway, but
Yeah, here
yeah,
it's
you got it.
okay. I got a lot of space.
Yeah.
And sometimes someone needs a pair, or like I've given a few away around the beach, and people
Hmm.
are always wanting to get into it.
Hmm.
Or
So
it's,
how is the
I don't know.
scene? How is the scene in China, man?
Uh, it's pretty big, so I guess it's a big country, so I think the scene's big enough, but it's so spread out.
Hmm.
But we're kind of lucky here. I think we used to have these Sunday night skates at a park in Shenzhen. I'm about an hour out of Shenzhen at the
Hmm.
moment at the beach where I'm living. But when we would go there, we would often have like 8 to 10 of us there.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool for, I don't know, I'm used to like
Yeah.
Regina where there were 4 or 5 of us at the most.
Hmm.
But everyone's busy, right? And we're all spread out. It's such a big city. So
Hmm.
like Diego lives out here at the same beach as me. I probably skate with him more than anyone else. I skate by
Hmm.
myself more than anything, but then often with Diego. And actually, we're going skating tomorrow in the city and meeting a few friends from the city.
Hmm.
And I haven't seen them in months because I was skipping park sessions to film street for a while there. Then it was raining. So tomorrow I'm pretty excited. I haven't skated since about a month ago.
Hmm.
So Diego's
Nice,
coming
man.
over early. We're going to a new park that I haven't been to,
Hmm.
and just gonna go jam around.
Seems like you got good skate parks in, I don't know, in Shenzhen, but in other places in China got good public skate parks, right?
Yeah, it seems to be, and we have quite a few here in this general area, but a lot of them are skateboard only now.
Oh.
So some of the best ones I've ever seen in the world are here, and we can't even go skate them.
Man, it's happened the same in Japan. Like some
It's
new skate
really
shop. I
annoying.
mean, skate parks. They say skateboard. They don't say skateboard. Only just say this skate park. It was built for skateboarding. And then if you show up with anything else, they just show the signs skateboarding. But it doesn't
Yeah,
say not allowed, not allowed. It doesn't say. And then you have to go in an argument. Oh, but it's the same thing. We're just using. We're using
yeah,
wheels
that's
as
what's
well.
happening here. They don't
And
care.
yeah, I don't. I
It's
don't.
all
Yeah,
like
man.
I think it's from the Olympics. They're building
Mhm.
them specifically for like that kind of training.
Yeah.
So
Tough, man. It's tough to look up to
yeah,
to
it's
see
annoying.
a beautiful skate park, and you're like, yeah, no.
Yeah. We usually skate them like while they're being built or the first few months before they get kind of organized and have
Oh,
a
okay.
blast. And then all of a sudden one day they're charging to enter and only skateboarding. So then we never go back. But there's so much
Yeah.
street here, I kind of don't
Oh,
really care.
I was going to say that.
Like
Yeah.
it's just way too much
Yeah.
cool stuff everywhere.
I saw your edit, man. So like, the place is just like full of perfect spots, and it seems like you don't have problem with security there, or you have.
Not very often. They because no one's really doing it for one, and then I don't know. They don't really know what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm off. A lot of the times I'm skating by myself, so I just show up in the heat of the day in the summer. No Chinese people want to be in the sun in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
so the whole plaza, the whole courtyard will be empty. and then some guy's got to like put out his cigarette and walk over to tell me to leave, and he doesn't want to.
Oh yeah.
And then by the time his lunch is over or something, I'm leaving anyway. So yeah, it's very rare to have any problems. But some places, like the best, kind of the coolest spots, have problems, or there's not many rails. It's all like ledges and weird stuff. So whenever there's a nice rail, it seems there's some sort of security right there.
Mm-hmm. Very different than Japan. Tokyo, like it doesn't take long for you to be kicked out, even if you're just skating, just not at the spot, just going from
Just
point
cruising
A to
through.
point. Yeah, they well, like when I moved, especially here in the center. And now I live pretty close to the middle of Tokyo. I mean, like that busy area. And when I moved here, I had to go to the city hall to change my address. And it's situated in a place where it's there is a train station there, but it's just awkward because I have to go to another train station, then go into the train station to the city mall, to the city hall. And if I just walk like 40 minutes. So I put the skates, and then was supposed to be
Right?
10
Yeah.
minutes. And yeah, I couldn't get there halfway. The police say, no, you cannot skate here. And then I explain,
It's
I'm just using it as a transportation, and they no, take it off.
really that. So that's police and on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Oh no, no, I was
Okay.
on the.
Or
Oh
on
wait,
the
I
road
was on the
too.
sidewalk. Yeah, I was on the sidewalk, but I explained. Oh, okay, I just go on the road, and then he said no. I was like, oh, and I say there is a river down there, and I can skate along the river, even though it's not close to where I'm supposed to go. And he said no, you cannot
Yeah.
skate anywhere at all. Just take it off and walk
Uh,
just like that. And then that happened many times. Yeah, many times.
oh, that's annoying.
And and then if you go to sports, yeah, it doesn't take long for you to get kicked out. But anyone, even if you
Uh,
a policeman or security didn't show up, just a normal civilian would come and just, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, you know. Yeah.
that's annoying. That's one cool thing here. They kind of mind their own business. No, it's very rare that you have someone come and like try to tell you what to do. Where in
It's
Canada, people are pulling over and moms are screaming at us and stuff about like, what do you care if I jump these stairs? Get
yeah.
out of here.
It I think he I mean in Japan it's something like that too. Like they kind of let you do your thing, but when it comes to do your thing public, they kind of get worried. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, you're not supposed to do this. Like it's gonna
Right.
damage, you know. But other than that, it's okay. But I believe in China, you have, like you say right now, you have way more freedom of the people expect. You know, we here not we never leave. I never leave. I've been in China, but I never leave there. But when I went to China, I thought, man, it's totally different. People here just chill, and then
Yeah.
they do whatever they want to do. You know, they're not like in any paranoia or kind of
Right.
living a kind of repressive life. You know, how do you feel like after all these 6 7 years living in China? Did it change your impression about it, or you had before, or?
Um. Yeah. Yes and no. I liked it before, but it seems maybe it's just Shenzhen, or I don't know. Like it's developing so fast, even still.
Yeah.
So from the first time I was here, it was like 2007, I think it was. I came with school to Shanghai and Beijing, and they just seemed a lot different than they do now. It just feels like kind of like being in the future here in this, at least in this city. Or I'm not
Mhm.
even in the city. I'm kind of out of the city, um, but there's lots of good and bad. Like, you know, mostly
Mhm.
good, I think. But
Yeah.
like, there's some stuff like the people driving. It's got to be
Mhm.
the worst drivers in the world here. So I've always got my head up if I have a motorcycle out here, and
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I'm riding around, like you never know, you don't know what someone's gonna do. Like they might just switch 3 lanes out of nowhere. Lots of times, like at least once or twice a day, someone pulls out onto the main road without even looking. Turning right onto the road, and
Damn.
they just come flying out and don't even look. And if I'm not looking and I'm in a car and not on a bike, then I don't. Yeah. So, but overall, it's just yeah, it's a cool place to be. I guess that's why I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly. If you stay that long in a place, it's in if you don't have to, but it's just staying there for choice. Yeah, it seems that even though it might be some place that's very different than what you used to, but somehow you got used to it. to live there and then feel comfortable, right? Same with me here in Tokyo, like
Yeah.
being here for so long.
Yeah.
Of
How
course,
long
it's
have
not
you been
perfect,
there?
man. Now it's like gonna be 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty hard in the beginning, man. Like I don't know how it was for you there. Maybe you were jumping from one place to the other, kind of get used to. I was in Australia before, and I was in Brazil before, so it was like Western kind of culture, Western way of thinking, and then you
Yeah.
jump into Japan, which is pretty like um, the way you think, what's wrong and what's right, and what is supposed to be is very restricted. It's not like there is much options for you to live the way you want to live. So
Right.
and you kind of have to adjust to that, and to the point that that's why I ask her, hey, do you question what's right and what's wrong, or what's normal, what's
Oh,
not?
I see what you
I
mean.
because I feel like I've been feeling like that all this time in Japan. It's obviously got to the point where you feel like, all right, so there's no right and wrong. It's just like people do things differently in different places, and I have to accept that. Shouldn't be comparing. Oh
Right.
man,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a big part of it, I guess. Like, there's a lot of things, yeah, that we just have to accept here, being sort of foreign and immigrants, I guess you would say. Uh, I don't know. I think what you're saying, like everyone just lives differently everywhere, and it's just
hmm
it's just
yeah,
part of the game or something, part of the experience.
exactly. Yeah. I think it's strange for us living in an Asian country because, like you say, we always going to be the foreigners, right? No matter how long we stay here. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
the thing. My
yeah,
Chinese is
so
still not very good, like my Mandarin. But today I went to, there's a Walmart like half an hour away, and I went over
mhm.
there to try to find basil. I want to
Yeah,
make Thai gapao.
mhm.
And all I've bought it here before, but no one at the beach has it right now. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go all the way to this Walmart. They gotta have it, and they didn't have it either. And as I
Mhm.
was walking around in the store, there was like 4 or 5 little Chinese kids, maybe like 10 years old,
Mhm.
and I noticed they were following me down different aisles, like they're so fascinated. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I
yeah.
did like a couple circles around one aisle just to see like if they would give up. And they were right behind me, right behind me. Then I did a couple figure eights like between the produce area and like ice cream or whatever was in some frozen stuff. And then like all of a sudden like one of them ran up and I was pretending I didn't notice, and then one of them ran up and touched me, and then I turned around and they all like ran away giggling. Like that'll never go away no matter what.
Yeah, how
So
crazy is that, man? You're always
mm,
gonna be the foreigner, and that sort of thing always happen. Like, even if you speak
yeah,
fluent Chinese, I think until you
yeah, you're
get going to the speak, just visually they're gonna do stuff like
exactly.
that to you. Yeah.
It's like in Shenzhen or even at this beach, there's hundreds and hundreds of expats here at this beach I'm at. But when I go to smaller towns,
Hmm.
yeah, it's like a UFO sighting or something. They just, but
Yeah.
most of it is super friendly. Like there's this one town where we were shooting these war movies. It's pretty small near Beijing, and like people almost crash their scooters and motorbikes to try to wave and say hi and like welcome you to China. And like it's, I don't know, there was like 10 of us walking around. Everyone's lived here for years, some people
Yeah.
decades, and they're just like, oh, welcome to China, welcome, and like almost hitting each other on the bikes and stuff.
That's
I
pretty
don't know,
cool,
I
man.
think, yeah, it's in a way it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like warming or whatever, like.
Yeah, because we sometimes we go to a different place and we live in the biggest city, obviously, or a busy area, and then you get the wrong impression of that place based on the busy lifestyle of that city. But then if you go to the skirts or go a little bit far away countryside where you're explaining, that's where maybe we see the true culture, and then people more like
Right.
friendly and more, and then it's much better. Yeah.
I was wondering, do you have the same security problems when you go to the suburbs or smaller towns? Because I notice around here no one cares at all, but in the center of the city, whatever it is, it's a little tighter security. I wonder if Tokyo's the same. Probably, I guess.
What kind of security you're talking about? Like,
Like you can't skate on the sidewalk, and the police are
uh,
yelling at you.
oh,
Whatever. If you were out in a smaller place, they probably just let it
yeah.
be. I think, right? So
I used to live before a little bit away from middle of Tokyo, more a little bit like
I
an open area. Sorry.
I remember if it's the place. Was that the place that me and Nick stayed at?
Yeah, yeah. That is small place. Yeah, that place is a bit. Oh, yeah, a bit far away. So where exactly that place was, not it was a good place to skate, but just like a couple of stations away, it was more like a spaced out the architecture. So it was a good place to skate, and I didn't have many problems there at all. Just once. But here in the center of Tokyo, yeah, the security is tight, man, for everything here. Even if you speak loud, people on the street, people will
That's
not
good.
come and say to
I
you,
kind of
stop.
like Japan for that. Like they're so quiet and peaceful. You know, like no talking on the train and skating
Yeah,
down the street and like falling down stairs and stuff is kind of very like abrasive to their
yeah,
way. So I kind of understand it. And they
you,
always nobody thinks that like everyone thinks we're like a danger because just seeing someone on skates rolling around, you have no idea if they're going to be good enough to not crash into someone.
true.
So I
Yeah,
kind of
that's right.
understand it.
Yeah, if you look at from their eyes, you understand why they're being
Yeah.
so strict because they think, oh, there's no brakes on that thing. They never seen that before, so how they gonna stop? So they're gonna hit someone, and there's a lot of people here. You're gonna cause some problems, so please stop. But the what do you say about the sound pollution? That there
Yeah.
is none here. It's amazing, and you don't notice that. I never noticed that when I was living here. I lived in Japan for 7 years straight before going anywhere, and then I went to Brazil for vacation. The first thing I realized when I got in Brazil was like the noise, and it would start to make I start to get like physical sick to hear all that noise of people talking on the street, cars, and I don't know what it is. It's just a lot of noise, And then your brain start to like trying to process everything. You start looking around like that, like he's talking to me, or. And here
Yeah,
in
it's
Tokyo, there
stress.
isn't. Yeah, it's stress. Yeah, and they understand that in Japan here, they understand that for a long time right now about the consequence of having a quiet, peaceful environment.
Yeah.
How that affects you. Somehow they already know that, but they don't talk about that. They don't say, "Hey, we gotta be quiet because it's good for your brain." No, they don't talk about that. They just, "Hey, quiet," It's, don't speak loud, And you kind of, oh shit, man, why cannot express myself? And then after a while, you're just like, yeah, now I understand what they're talking about. Yeah, I should be quiet because I love this piece. I'm gonna miss that
Yeah.
if one day I leave Japan.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That's how it is here at the beach. Shenzhen's a lot louder, quieter
Mm-hmm.
than most cities though, because pretty much every car is electric and every bus and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
out here, I just love the peace being at a beach. There's like no
Yeah.
traffic, not many people. It's a bit of a ghost town in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's good for your, I don't know, yeah, your health, noise pollution, right?
Talking about health, you just finished the 20 days water fasting, right?
I did, yeah, on Thursday. Today's Sunday, so a couple days ago, 3 days ago. This is my fourth day, sort of refeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did 21 days, um, and feel good.
How many times have you done that?
21. This is the first time, but fasting, like extended fast, close to 20 probably,
Mm-hmm.
once or twice or more per year since 2014. So,
How did this whole thing started, man? And how was the first time you did it?
um, first time was 2014 when I was the coach of the Thai camp,
Mm-hmm.
and I had tried. I think I did 3 days or something a few months before that, but failed. Like I didn't feel good and just ate dinner with the gang. Pretty sure it came about through like old yoga books and stuff. Like when I was traveling
Mm-hmm.
a lot, I was just reading. I would download PDFs of old stuff to my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of caught my interest. So I read a lot about it and sort of just looked into it a lot, and then did this 7 days, and it kind of changed everything. So now I do it at least once a year ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do like a full one, which is on until there's nothing left. You go, I don't know how to pronounce it. Autophagy, I think it's called. It's like your body starts eating dead or damaged cells as
Mm-hmm.
fuel and fat and everything else. So it's good for like preventing illness and boosts your immune system and like tons and tons of benefits. But I want to do the whole thing where for a typical for someone like my size, it's probably like between 40 and 50 days, maybe like 45 days or something.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then there's nothing left to burn. And then you get like instinctive hunger, like sudden hunger.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do like the full cycle one day, but I don't want to just like jump into it. I think it's better to sort of like slowly get there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at, 21. Next one will be 28 or more. And then I don't know, in a few years, I'll do the whole thing one day. I'll probably like
Yeah.
document the whole thing. This time I
Yeah.
just took
Yeah.
like little journal notes and like weighed myself every day, just
Mm-hmm.
see how I was feeling. But I felt amazing the whole time. It gets easier every time. This was the easiest one so far ever. I would have went another week just to go for it, but uh, it's my birthday tomorrow, and I want to be
Okay.
able to like hang out with friends and whatever, celebrate or hang. I don't know. They want to like have a little party, so I don't want to be the guy there only having water, just boring and lazy. So yeah, I
You
quit on Thursday.
yeah, you mentioned about the benefits of the body, but is there any benefits for mental
Yeah,
mentally?
very much. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think all the like spiritual, physical, mental, psychological, all benefits. The main one I noticed with my mind is it gets like really still and calm, almost like permanent meditation.
Mm-hmm.
So after, for me, it's like somewhere in the late second day, the hunger goes away and you go into like ketosis or whatever. You're not hungry anymore until
Mm-hmm.
you finish it, if you're gonna go the whole way. And yeah, if you're not speaking or listening or reading, your mind is just like a still bowl of water or something. Like it's so still and peaceful, 24 hours a day. So that's really cool. And really sharp focus. You can just like laser focus on whatever you want. Um, yeah, mostly just really calm. And then
That,
supposedly you get it like speeds up the growth of brain cells and brain
mm-hmm.
connections and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really know. Like anything
Mm-hmm.
with health, there's people saying one side and the other, but
Yeah.
that's something that I read along the way. But mostly just yeah, like you're in a permanent state of like peace, just like calmness.
When I moved to Japan, obviously didn't get to that uh not to get like fasting anything, but the diets changed a lot here. What I eat and the amount of the portion changed a lot. That I just lost like 12 kilos, I think. And I
Wow,
in
yeah,
7 months, yeah, in 7 months. And I remember being very like starving all the time when I was at work. When I got here, I got really shitty work. I was just like doing like a shitty work in a huge in how do you call factory, and it was like a I was inside this huge fridge. There was like it was minus 20 degrees Celsius, so I had to put like a jacket, and I was freezing, and I was hungry, and I still have like 7 hours ahead of me for the shift, and I remember being very hungry. But when you say like you mentioned about all of the sudden you don't feel the hunger anymore. For me, it was like, oh, obviously there is nothing like to the point that what he did, but it's what I could imagine was like, if I'm gonna fast like you did, you got to the point that you start to be hungry, but then you got used to with the hunger, and then the hunger is there, but you just don't bother. Same as like cold. Yeah, it's cold, but I don't. It's not bothering me. You know what I mean? Maybe with
yeah.
hunger it would be the same. Like maybe like if you had a hot weather, like oh yeah, it's hot, but it's just not bothering me. It's just there.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what that's what it's like for me now on the first 2 days because I've done it so many times. But you
Mhm.
literally have no hunger after the 2 days because your digestive system shuts off and starts burning fat instead of looking for sugars.
Mhm.
It converts also. I don't know like all the science how to explain it all, but it like
Mhm.
all sorts of sort of magical processes happen inside, and you convert this and that into things that you need and so you literally actually have no hunger if you can make it to day three ish. And so like I was sitting with friends and they're eating steaks and drinking whiskey and hanging out and like I know that it tastes good, and I would love to,
Hmm.
enjoy a meal or have a drink or something. But it's not like where you wake up hungry or in the middle of the afternoon you feel like you want to eat or hungry at work. You just have nothing. It's like a physical chemical process
Hmm.
or something. So it's way easier than you would think. Like if you can get past 3 days, you can go
Yeah,
30. But
true.
you get bored, like food takes up a big part of the day with
Yeah.
finding it, making it, cleaning up, and the social aspects and everything.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think Asia, it's very different than from our society because it seems like that. I mean, I'm speaking not. I mean, in general, when I say our society, like Western, feels like more nowadays that eating for the Western society is more like a you refilling, like you just like I need more, like And in Asia, it's always more like a celebration, and you don't eat
Yeah.
like you. There's a whole process, like you say, of cooking, and then serving with everyone together, and then yeah, there is the finishing where you clean.
And
So
like sharing a table of plates,
yeah,
at
yeah,
home or in Canada, everyone gets their own dish. I
yeah, yeah,
like it here. We ordered 15 dishes and share them all,
yeah, yeah.
in a group.
It's, and you start seeing the food in a different way. Like it's not something they just put it inside. It's just like enjoying slowly and small portions, and then and you feel
Yeah.
full quite easy. Nowadays, I feel full quite easy, man. Like I don't eat a lot. I couldn't believe how much burger I could eat before when I was in Australia and in Brazil, but now I just cannot eat a burger, man.
Yeah. Happens to me too.
Yeah, I know it tastes good. I give it a bite, two, and then halfway I was like, man, I'm full. That's too much oil in this plate, this thing, And yeah, it
Oh
doesn't
man,
go
you're making
down.
me. I had this flashback when Note and I were there, uh, 2017 maybe. We
Hmm.
were skating with everyone in oh, what is it near us? We're like Sushiro and all of them. What's their town called again?
Uh, Okayama, I think. I think it's
Okayama. Yeah,
Okayama.
so we were in
Yeah, yeah.
Okayama, and we bought like Lay's chips or something. And I remember, and we were coming from Thailand where you don't like everyone eats kind of smaller amounts and everything, but for whatever reason, I just like had this bag and there was crumbs in the bottom, and I was just like shaking them into my mouth, like not even thinking about it, but it looked so. I'm sure it looked so silly because I like looked over and a bunch of the locals at the skate
Yeah.
park were just like just looking at me like, "What's he doing?" And I was
What a
like,
monster,
"Oh,
right? Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah,
Like they're so like delicate with the food, just picking out
they
one
are.
chip or something.
Yeah, they're very delicate. That's right. They're very delicate with the food. Yeah, they treat food very differently. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fun. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty
That
embarrassing.
that's the thing that happened to us when we move and live overseas for so long, right? Like we start questioning our own beliefs or maybe habits as well, and then you're like, man, why I used to
Yeah.
do that? Yeah, probably you change a lot. Do people say that when you go back home and you just, man, you're not the same person?
No, not that I can remember. I'm sure I have, but it's been going on so long. I think it's maybe it would be a change if I wasn't changing or something. But I have had
Yep.
some weird ones from people that like haven't seen me for a long time. Like a few years ago, I went back before COVID, I guess. So it's going back already a while. And I hadn't seen this neighbor for years, maybe even like I don't even know how long, a long, long time. And there was like sort of a block party. We lived. My parents live on a bay, like a little circle, so everyone was pretty
Mhm.
close. And she said like, "Yeah, you've changed. You have an accent now." So I was like, "All right, like I'm sure my accent isn't the same as like typical Regina person because I've
Mhm.
been gone for a long time and surrounded by spending all year with I don't know a dozen different people from all different countries. So I'm picking up their slang or their everything. So I was like, interesting, like I wonder what my accent sounds like now. And she said she thought I sounded like I'm French, which is like, I don't think that makes any sense at all. So I just kind of chalked it up as like, that's maybe like the only language coming to her mind, because Canada's like half
Yep.
French and I don't think she's really been anywhere and
Yeah,
she's just
yeah.
kind of stuck. stuck in that small town view. But that one, I'll never forget that one. Yeah, you sound like you're French now. But
Would you sometimes you picture yourself like you just mentioned about this person right now that she never left anywhere, she always stay in the same place, so you have a very small view, which is
I
nothing problem with that, but
I
do you
assume
pick?
that, right?
Yeah,
Shouldn't say. I
exactly, yeah.
assume. Yeah,
Yeah, true. But there are people like that, right? There are people like that,
yeah.
they don't go
There's lots,
anywhere. Do you
right?
see sometimes you stop and think, man, what if I never left the Canada, who I would be now, you know? What kind of person? I do that question all the time to me. Do you do it yourself or trying to imagine?
Yeah, it hits me sometimes. My life would be completely different for sure. I don't know that it would
Mhm.
be good or bad. It would just be different. I'd be more normal, have probably a family and a normal job and stuff. Who
Oh,
knows? I don't know.
you remind me something. When I got here in Japan like 10 years ago, man, I was on a website, like a random website, and your interview pop up, like in this random website, and then it was just
A
a dude.
Japanese website?
I don't know. It wasn't a Japanese website. I think it was probably a website in USA or Canada, and they were talking
Hmm.
about world traveling, and there was you there. They will just interviewed you as a world traveler, traveling to different countries and working. I think that time you were working for Thai
Oh,
as a
no.
coach.
That might have been Malaysia. I was in a Malaysian newspaper or something. They called me the world's number one rollerblader.
Oh yeah, yeah, probably yeah. And then
My dad hung it
one of
above his bar.
and one of the questions was that like a person was asking you like, oh, do you what? I mean, like, is it hard to keep traveling from one place to the other one? And you're like, oh yeah, I wish I have a girlfriend and a place and things like that. But
Right. Yeah, something like that. I think Sukeets kind of like bigged me up to this newspaper,
hmm
and they just like kind of oversold me or whatever. I think it was maybe, yeah, when I was coaching Thai team and I
yeah,
had to go on a visa run to KL, and
hmm
he set it all up. Yeah, they were asking me, yeah, I don't know, about travel, and the whole story was like travels the world for work or
yeah,
something like that. If that's the one you
exactly,
saw.
yeah, exactly, yeah. That was
Yeah.
it.
I
It
think
was
it
very
was kind of
random.
like uh Sukeet's like the Wheel Love owner.
hmm
I think he kind of like sold me as like some big timer, big shot, and then they didn't have any way to know the difference, so they're like, "Oh,
That was 10 years ago or more, right? Around 10 years ago.
yeah,
So
2014, 10 years ago, 10 years ago, right
yeah,
now, probably like, or when it started."
yeah.
So I probably went to Malaysia in like August, so you're pretty close
hmm
for a visa run.
Was your experience as a coach for the Thai team, was that a life changing moment for you?
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, it was kind of life changing.
Yeah.
Just to have that was in the middle of I was traveling constantly. That was like right in the middle of the 6 or 7 years that I never kind of stopped. So it gave me maybe it was 4.5, 5 months of like up place stability,
hmm
extra pay, and just like such a cool opportunity.
hmm
And I think the effects of it are yet to be fully seen because eventually we'll be in the Olympics, right? And then I'm
Yeah.
I'm trying to be someone's coach. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to be the coach again of whatever country. Thailand would be awesome, but they probably use Jom by then.
True. Yeah.
But so eventually that's gonna, still pay off as experience. But the coolest part was just hanging out with those guys and treating skating like a kind of more like a job or real sport than I ever had. Like training and like dieting and all this stuff, like running laps and just the whole thing of it was so cool. And basically, I was training too because half the guys' English wasn't so great, and
hmm
skating's kind of a weird thing. Like, how do you train? I
Yeah.
don't, like basically you train by just jamming every day. So we're just skating, and so I thought like my best way would just be to skate hard and train hard. So I
hmm
just literally like lived it as if I was training for my own
hmm
Olympics or whatever. That
hmm
it was super cool, man. I learned so many tricks and had so much fun with the guys, and and then like Jom and Note, you know, they're
Hmm.
on their own level. So I don't know. I feel like I absorbed a lot of their
Yeah,
mentality and their, I don't know, how they skate and stuff. A lot of inspiration. The whole thing was pretty epic. Yeah,
yeah. Some
pretty
places you
cool.
do, some places you go and you do, it kind of sets you in some directions in your life. And I thought being in Thailand and having that opportunity would do the same for you. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it was yeah, it was awesome. I ended up kind of, I had been going there and staying for a couple months at a time, but after that, over the coming years after that, I stayed there for most of the year, a few years.
Hmm.
And I don't know, yeah. Thailand's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna visit Thailand in November with my girlfriend. Yeah. And then yeah,
Oh yeah. Yes.
first time. Yeah.
First time.
Never
Oh
been to Thailand,
man.
man. Yeah. I've been to the
Oh,
Philippines though. It was pretty hot, but yeah, Thailand. Haven't been to Thailand yet.
okay. I haven't been to
Must.
Philippines. I really want to go there.
Dude,
But
hottest place I've been to.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a combination of humidity and strong sunlight. You know, because in Brazil where I live, it's quite of the sun's quite strong, but it's kind of there's a breeze and it's not so humid. So if you go outside, you feel the skin kind of burning, and you just want to run away to the shade. And then at the in the shade, it's kind of cool. But then here in Japan, like you don't even see the sun during the summer. It's kind of cloudy, kind of kind of gray
Oh,
sky kind of thing. You just see kind of a bright area which you had the sun supposed to be. So it's just the humidity that's pretty high over here. I believe it's the same in South China as well because Hong Kong was really humid. So
yeah, it's humid
over
there.
here, yeah,
Much.
it's very humid, but no matter where you go, it's hot, right? But then in the Philippines, it's humid and the sun is pretty strong, man. Like you go outside, it's like seeing your skin like burning, and then the humidity is pretty high. Just like I don't know if a good place for skating in the summer, but maybe winter is better. I
Yeah.
went there during the summer though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do miss how dry it was in where I grew up. It was super dry. So in the summer, it got hotter than it does here, but it didn't feel like it. And in the winter,
Hmm.
when it's super cold, it didn't feel as cold. The
Hmm.
humidity's crazy. Lots of times I'll sweat just walking
Yeah.
like half a block away to pick up something to eat. And it's
Yeah.
similar there, right? And I can imagine Philippines and it being even further south, right? From
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I think they are
I,
still in the north hemisphere, but I don't think they. Yeah, they still north, but it just close south from Japan. Yeah.
well, you'll love Thailand, or I mean, everybody does, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
How
Thai
long are
people
you
is
gonna go
awesome.
for? Yeah, Thai people are the best as well.
Yeah.
And you like spicy
So
food, or are you?
I love it. My girlfriend is
Yeah,
Korean, and she's like, yeah, man, we only eat spicy food. That's the only thing I eat with
yeah,
her when I go out. Everything is spicy, and I love
me
Thai
too.
food. Yeah, there's a Thai
Yeah.
restaurant just across the road here, and I go there often. And
Okay.
yeah, the food is just like endless choices, and then everything tastes so good, and then very spicy
Yeah.
too. I love spicy. I gotta take it easy with the spicy food though, because yeah, like doctor say, you gotta take it easy. But
Oh,
yeah,
really? Uh-oh. I
yeah,
have spicy food every day. Like today, I made a big salad, and it has chopped Thai chilies and cayenne pepper and
yeah, yeah,
everything. I just, yeah, I think I overdo it. And
yeah,
as I was saying, I wanted to make gapow, you know, that like Thai
yeah.
chili basil and whatever with an egg on top. I
Hmm.
can't find the basil, or basil.
Yeah. Do you eat a lot of Chinese food? When I say Chinese food, like you cook Chinese food there, like the typical stuff?
I never really cook Chinese because it's cheaper to have someone make it
Yeah.
downstairs all around here. And actually, in my neighborhood, there in this little beach town, I got carried away with foreign foods because we have like an Iranian restaurant, Egyptian. We used to have Mexican, lots of Russian,
Hmm.
Czech. We have so
Yeah.
many variety of like foreign. There's Vietnamese, all kinds of stuff. There's a Peruvian chef here.
Hmm.
So I kind of got carried away eating all these like. Western or whatever, I don't know, non-Chinese
Mm-hmm.
foods, but they're more expensive and everything. So after this fast, my kitchen looks like a grocery store. I filled it up with everything. Like I can make anything now. There's no ingredient that I'd except basil that I'd have to be like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have it. So I'm planning to eat at home a lot the next month to get kind of, I don't know. I'm cleaned out now, and I want to eat clean to build
Yeah.
back, and then probably eat more local Chinese stuff around here again because it's delicious and there's so many varieties
Yeah.
and it's way cheaper. But yeah, as
Mm-hmm.
far as making Chinese, I never really make anything Chinese. I make Thai stuff more than probably
Mm-hmm.
most places.
Nice. Nice, man. Yeah, I don't cook at all, but I know what you mean. Like if I go down the road here, there's food from everywhere around the world and really good and affordable. To Tokyo is really impressively very cheap. Restaurants are very cheap comparing to
Yeah,
other places. The quality is really good for the amount of money you're paying. So and the variety is just
right.
like everywhere you go. So it's make it hard for me to cook at home if I just pay like $1 more and then and get
That's it,
a
right?
red.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just wonder like, well, but I do like cooking, but
yeah. I
every day
like
is
it too.
hard.
But yeah, it's the same here. I get in habits where I do it every day, and then it's like, why all this prep and cleaning, and it's literally like
Yeah,
$1, and someone can make it way better than me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
But I love Japanese, man. Whenever I've been there, it's hard to eat anything else because I know that soon I'll be leaving again. So
Yeah,
I go hard on the Japanese when I'm there.
yeah,
Actually, you
man.
know what? The last 10 days, I've been looking up tons of recipes.
Hmm.
So I looked up all sorts of like ramen and like I don't know, all kinds of foods from everywhere.
Hmm.
What was the one like Mexican, like tortilla soups, and
Hmm.
I have 100 tabs of things I want to eat in the next weeks saved up, ready to go
Were you
through
doing
them.
that during fasting?
Yeah,
That's kind of torture, you know. Like,
that's what everybody's saying. I found it like kind of comforting. Like, okay, soon I'll be able to do all this
oh, you're looking up. Oh, I
because
see. Because you already got
like
everything under control, like you say, you don't feel hunger, so
yeah, I
you
have
kind of
zero hunger, so it's
yeah,
more like inspiration. It's like, okay, what
true,
what do I really feel like I want next? Like what am I low in? What's my body craving kind of thing. So,
true.
but the first few days, it's just been all watermelon. I had a lot of bone broth. A friend made me bone broth because that's
Mhm.
good for all the minerals and stuff and vitamins.
Yeah.
And then and I've been having boiled eggs.
Hmm.
And then today I made a huge salad with everything in it, like 20 different things, all sorts of beans and peas and
Hmm.
everything.
You mentioned about when you're fasting, you don't change much your daily routine, I guess, because you say you go out with your friends, still you do everything, you know. But
Yeah.
what about work? You say you work as an actor. Do you try? Have you ever fast during the shootings?
Yeah. I actually had a shoot a week ago for some it was like a air tire inflating thing, like a what I
Mm-hmm.
guess is it what do you call that? A tire inflator. Anyway,
I inflated, yeah, pump. I
out
don't
in
know. Yeah,
yeah, tire air pump or something. I was out in the
yeah.
sun all day. It was like 12 hours standing and bending and like leaning over the tires and sort of pretending to be fixing my
Mm-hmm.
car. And it was okay, but yeah, I just felt like a little weaker. Like I would have most of it sitting around waiting for them to prepare a shot. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting for an hour and then they're like, okay, we need you over here right now.
Yeah.
And for that first few seconds, it's like, I don't want to stand up right now. And then I just kind of slowly stand up and then I go do it for sometimes 45 minutes in some awkward pose while they're shooting photos or video or whatever. And then
Mm-hmm.
by the end of it, sometimes, yeah, I felt like, uh, lazy. So I stopped skating after the first 4 or 5 days. But the main thing I did around here is go for walks. I walked like my typical, I don't know, like
Yeah.
10,000 steps a day and worked on the computer and That's it. I did go out with friends, but I was kind of like the boring one because
Yeah.
they're all like joking and laughing and stuff, and it's almost like I have the energy to be there, but my mind is so calm that I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
like kind of get like act crazy or not act crazy, but you know, like really like I don't know,
You're
can't
in a
really
different
get
vibe.
like yeah, I'm just in a different vibe. Yeah, so I went to some friends' birthday parties and went out with friends drinking and just had my water.
Hmm.
Drank a ton of water. Got so bored of it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still right. And what about the job as an actor? You've been doing that since you got in China?
Uh, Almost. I got a job pretty, well, actually not even that quickly, but a few months after moving here, I got a job doing like marketing consulting, like for this Amazon company. So just helping them like make more, like improve everything, make more
Hmm.
sales at the bottom line at the end of the day. So I was doing that, and then they had their own advertising studio, and they found out that I worked in camera and editing and on TV shows and
Hmm.
movies and stuff in Canada. So they're like, oh, so they kind of made me like director of their little studio. So I was in there all the time. And then sometimes just like an actor wouldn't show up for a commercial, like a white man for an American family commercial about a blender or something. So they would ask me, why don't they throw me in? And I just started doing it. And then when COVID happened and everything, I thought I already had like kind of a portfolio. So and no work. So I just sent my stuff to all the agents, and then so that's halfway through that job of marketing. I started doing it for them, standing in, and then when that job ended, basically when COVID started, ever since that's been like kind of my main source here.
Hmm.
Tons of commercials, and then that led to like movies, and it just keeps happening.
A full length
So
movie, right?
yeah, there's been five now, I think, that I was in. And now it's starting
Damn.
to be like roles and stuff and like more lines and all, like it just keeps going bigger. I've worked with like one of the biggest directors in China and his son, one of the biggest stars in the last one. I don't even know who they are, right? I'm just like in there. And
Hmm.
then everyone was kind of scared of them and intimidated. And it was this huge movie, big budget. So I went and looked them up. And it turns out I studied them in film school like 20 years ago. I was watching
Really?
this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that
Damn.
was
That's
crazy. It was like I literally
yeah.
spent like a few weeks in university studying this guy and his movie, and now I'm like
You're
sitting
working
there
on
with him every morning. He's smoking his cigar and telling me like, "Oh, good job," and
it.
super crazy, man. You never know
Yeah.
what happens in this
So
life.
I guess you are enjoying, right, the this job.
Yeah, I'm loving it actually. I used to hate. I would have never believed that I would love doing this, but
Hmm.
somehow I got bit by the bug or something. I really have a good time doing it. So the
Hmm.
last film, like movie project I was in, I don't even know the name of it yet. I'll have to figure it out.
Hmm.
I'll probably meet this agent and the crew again any day now. There's sounds like there's going to be one from July to October. But the last one I was John Lennon in some character's dream, and I ended up sort of like the Joker, you know, like Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. Like, so I'm
Yeah.
kind of a bit like that. So in his
Hmm.
dream, the Beatles are partying on this train with like a bunch of beautiful women and whiskeys and everything and fake joints. And it was real whiskey and real beer on the train, so we actually got kind of drunk over the day of shooting.
Well, you're supposed
And
to
then,
act drunk anyway, right?
yeah,
You're
we were
supposed
supposed
to
to
act.
act drunk, and
Yeah,
we were supposed to be kind of like really vibing in this party. It was me and the other Beatles and like 20 beautiful girls, and they're like lap dancing us and stuff. And I kind of lost my voice because I had to smoke these on one of the takes. So this guy comes into the train, and we're all like partying, and he's like, "What's going on?" And then like as soon as we hear him and see him, we all turn around with guns and point the guns in his face. Like even the girls, they all have pistols, and me and the Beatles all have like Tommy machine guns. So and then he runs away down the train, right? And then in one of the takes, like in the rehearsal, I just like they had these fake, they had raw tobacco in like fake rolled joints, So I just like,
Mhm.
you know, got one of the chicks to like light it for me, and I'm like checking her out and all this. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, like look her up and down, and then like pull my gun. I got this spliff hanging out of my mouth. So I could hear them all laughing through the, like it's a fake train, right? It's just
Yeah,
plywood walls. And then they're like, yeah, do that every take. So it ended
yeah.
up being like the rest of the day. And they didn't have filters and they were rolled really loose. So they
Oh,
burnt in like 1 minute, the whole thing is burnt through. So they'd be like, okay, get ready, get ready. And I had like 20, by the time I figured it out, I had like 20 of these and a lighter in my pocket. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I light it. I'm smoking just raw tobacco through nothing, just through rolled up paper. And like by the end of the day, I had 100 of these fake joints. So I got it going. I'm like, yeah, okay, we're ready. And then it takes like 5 minutes. They're not ready. And my cigarette's already burnt out. Throw it on the floor, light another one. You ready? Yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
but it was super fun. So then I chased this guy with the machine gun, like screaming and laughing out of my, you know, like top of my lungs, yelling. So I can't wait to see that. It was super fun, man. Yeah.
That was the
So
latest
yeah,
one you done, right?
yeah, the last time. So a few months ago. It's been kind of
Hmm.
quiet the last few months.
Did you take any acting class, or you think about it?
Never. I went to film school, but I always wanted to be like behind the camera. I'd love
Hmm.
to like direct a movie or something. Directed commercials here, and
Hmm.
yeah, no training, no nothing. I don't know. I just went in and started doing it. Actually, it's
Do you
quite a
think?
bit like skating, though. It's quite a bit like doing a trick for a clip. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, you guys are ready. We've come here. It's time for me to do my thing, and you kind of like shut off your
Okay.
brain.
Hmm.
You know, so I take some deep breaths or whatever, and just kind of like leave.
Oh, I
That's
see.
what it feels like. It's like mine goes off
Yeah.
before jumping off a roof. It's the same idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. You gotta. You're talking about the state of mind is the same, right?
Yeah,
Kind of.
the whole
Yeah.
process feels very much the same.
Nice,
At
man.
least to me, that's what I've been doing. I don't know. No one's complained yet.
But are you saying that you enjoying and kind of yeah, like the whole process of? So I was thinking that you might wanted to level up, like doing acting
I would love
course.
to. Yeah, it might be time to take it more seriously and like train and
Hmm.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying it. And I've met so many cool friends. It's even like skating tours. Like even the life is a bit the same. I go to some town and meet like 30 guys from different countries, and then we hang out
Mhm.
every day for a month and become good friends, just like a skate tour.
Yeah, yeah.
The whole
True,
thing
because
is
you've been part of so
it's like
many skate tours, so it's the same thing, right?
it
You know
feels
very
really
well.
much the same. And a lot of just like waiting around, like on a filming for Cayenne, most of the day you're cheering
Mhm.
for your friends. You know, there's only an hour that you're actually like on, you know, your starring moment, get your trick done. A lot of it is like farmer wanted to do this, so we came all the way here and he's gonna do this, and then that guy wants to do that. So
Mhm.
it's like most of the day with the acting is like sitting around chatting with all these random people from everywhere. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we hustle for half an hour and then go sit for another few
do,
hours.
do do they know as well that you're a professional skater?
Some do, some don't. It depends. Like, I don't know. It's not my first thing to talk about. So with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
people I meet, eventually it comes out because we all get pretty close. And with the agents, it depends what they're looking for, whether it's in my materials or not. Um, I've ended up getting a lot of jobs here skating for ads for headphones and stuff. So I put some of those in, depending what they're like. Oh, we need someone to do a sport and looking about this age and this color, and so then I'll send like inline. But I don't know if they ever really understand the difference. You know, like I'll send
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Canada video and the flips and like an ad or two that I did with headphones here, and then
Hmm.
they'll be
I
like,
see. Yeah.
"Okay, you're hired."
So you've done some stuff with skating there over there. I mean,
Yeah,
filming.
yeah,
I mean,
probably like 4 or 5 ads now with skates
hmm.
on.
Hmm.
Some are cool. Some I've never seen yet. One is terrible, and A lot of times I don't even see the stuff that I do. Like I'll write to
Yeah,
the
I have no.
agent months
Mm,
later, like, where's that ad for this vacuum cleaner where I was the dad or something, and then they never get it. So if
probably
you ever see
never.
me in an ad somewhere,
Yeah.
send it to me.
I know that China has some pretty funny commercials, man. Same as in Japan. Like you have a sense of
Some are
humor.
so bad.
Yeah, yeah. It's a kind of bad funny, right? Kind of. It's so bad
Yeah,
that it's
but
funny, you know.
most of those are for those phone video games, and I refuse to do them now because I don't really like them. But most of the ones that I'm doing are for like Amazon USA or Europe, and it's like household items. It'll be me and some pretty lady and a little kid and a dog, and
Okay.
like it's a vacuum or it's a
Uh-huh.
coffee maker or something,
Yeah.
whatever. And it's just me and the wife in there, like, making some food, and then the daughter comes running over, and like,
Hmm.
it's a lot of that. Or I'll be like a designer. I'm out in the wilderness camping using my latest phone or stuff like that. It's
That's
always
right. Well,
random.
yeah, yeah. It's very. I was going to say it's very random, right? Which you used to. You mentioned about traveling at the professional scale. You travel a lot, and especially all those crazy tours. And the Cayenne project is one of my favorite. The whole thing is my favorite. Of course, together with Vine Street, is my favorite.
Ah,
Yeah. Talking
cool.
about
Thank you.
Cayenne, man. Talking about Cayenne, like how was the whole process of traveling with those persons? I know you guys got really close, but you got way more
Yeah.
closer to those people than you expected.
Yeah, in the end, like most of them I was already traveling with a lot, but like a lot of the Atlanta guys, like I didn't know Chris Smith or Carson very well.
Hmm.
Um, and even like Benny. I didn't know Benny
Hmm.
very well. I would see him at Roskilde every year or different events, but I never got like good time together. But everyone else I spent a lot of time with. Um, Super fun, man. Those guys are awesome. I wish we could do it every year. I wish we were still doing it.
Yeah,
A lot of them
I
are busy. A lot of
yeah.
papas now. A lot of families
Yeah, that's true.
and work. But yeah, it was cool while it lasted. It was pretty special. I really enjoyed all the times. So the last one was in Mexico, and that was amazing. I went from here, so that was really cool to like live a bit normal here. Working, I was working like every normal workday hours, and then I got to go
Hmm.
on this month-long trip with the boys.
Hmm.
That was super cool, super fun. I just wish we could do it again. We've been like chatting in a little group text, but I don't
Yeah,
think it's possible. Like it doesn't really it's hard for it to pay for itself, and then a lot of people are busy and a lot of people can't leave the family, so I guess we could either make changes to the crew or just
hmm,
let it be what it was and make, I don't know, try to make new projects or something. I would love to go again, but we'll see.
those videos were special because not only the tricks, but they could pass the vibe of the tool right perfectly. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, it
Uh,
was um quite f- Carson and Benny and Dominic with the photos, and everyone captured quite well, like,
mhm.
yeah, the whole vibe, as you say.
Yeah, Dom West is pretty
Yeah,
good of that too, right? Capturing the
yeah, Dom's awesome at that. Yeah,
yeah all the Vine Street videos. You. I mean, I was there as well, so I could. Sydney feels like that. It's the city. Sydney feels like
yeah,
what you see in Vine Street. Yeah.
yeah. Dom's great at that. I miss that whole time and all those guys. But
Hmm.
I might actually get to go see all those guys at the end of this year potentially. I
In
might
Sydney.
be yeah, in Sydney. There's a pretty good chance. I mean, as far as today, right now, it's happening, but things can change. But um, I might be going on a sailboat around the world at the end of
What?
the year. Me and a couple of good friends that live out here at the beach.
That's-
It never ends, man. It's always, it never ends. So we met this, we randomly bumped into this wealthy explorer type, business type man
Mhm.
out at the beach about a month ago. And we were at a bar having
You know why
beers.
I'm laughing so much? Because not long ago, you're like, oh yeah, it feels good. Now I'm settled at my place. Oh, now I'm gonna go on the boat. Now, man, but around the world.
Of course, yeah. I can't pass it up, man. So
Yeah, true. It's right. So
I've
it's an
been
offer you cannot
relatively,
deny. Yeah.
I can't deny it. I've been relatively stable here for a good 5 years. A few trips
Yeah.
here and there. But man, it's so typical. It's a long
Mm.
story, but one of our friends here has a boat and he sort of asked us to take care of it, me and another friend here. So we basically have the keys. My keys
Mhm.
are on the door. I have a key to his boat, and we can take it anytime. So we go boating a lot here, and we take it
Okay.
fits 12 people. So we take our friends, and we just go out in the bay right in front of my place, and like
Mhm.
listen to music and go swimming. Did it all winter, so it's warm enough to swim all winter here, which is a real treat for me.
Yeah.
So we met this guy at this bar, and we were all talking about boats. I was only drinking my water.
Mhm.
Everyone else was having their beers. And we invited him. He's like, we've never met him. He's new in town. He has a factory here somewhere and he lives in Australia. He's going back there soon. So we invite him, like, sit with us, have a few beers, chatting. We invite him on the boat. And he's asked us to join him. He wants to sail from Spain to the west, all the way around back to Queensland, where he has a ranch. And he asked if we would join him. And other people in the past have like flaked on him at the last minute. And so,
Understandable.
and, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But me and a couple of good friends from here were like, yeah, we'd be totally down to do that. So he wants to leave from Terravilla in southeast Spain
Okay.
to near Alicante, I think, near somewhere like that, and sail west all the way for 9 months, stopping everywhere, stopping in Morocco for a couple of weeks and Canaries and everywhere along the way. Probably Colombia, and we got to wait for a Panama Canal pass
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
all this stuff, right? So I said, like, yeah, I want to go. So I'm planning on it. And it ends in Australia in whatever that'll be, August or something. So
Just
I'll go visit all
just
those guys.
yeah, just picture you arrive in Sydney. Yeah, by boat. You know, "Hey, what's up, guys? Haven't
It's
seen you
gonna be
guys in a
crazy,
while."
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done
Oh,
anything like that. This guy has, and my other friend has sailed quite a bit, but I don't know. Would you go? I can't say no, man. I'm going. I don't care.
well, that's definitely tempting because it's gonna. It sounds like a huge experience, but then at first I'll say yes, but I think yeah, I'll try to figure out the logistics. You know, okay, all right. Let me just now that my emotions are gone. Let me know how this is gonna happen. You know, what kind of clothes I have to
That's
bring. What kind of food. What do I have to worry about, and then comes to the final
yeah.
decision after I know all of that.
Okay. Well, that's what we've been doing for the last month. We've been meeting every few days and going over every detail.
Nice.
But also, you got like responsibilities. I don't really have any, so I figure I gotta do it before,
True, true, true.
before I have whatever, a
Kids.
family or
Yeah.
who knows what I'm gonna have or some job that like needs me there every day or something. So yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot, but I think I'm doing it, man.
Yeah, do it, dude. Why not? You just say that. Like, there's no reason not to do it. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I guess it's
especially,
pretty dangerous and could a lot of things could go wrong, but
yeah,
a lot of things could go right as well. I don't know. It just
yeah,
feels like kind of totally up my alley. I want to
yeah.
go to every country before I leave this earth. So
Hmm.
this is a good way to go to a lot of them that aren't so easy to get to. All these little islands
Yeah,
that you can't
yeah.
even see on the globe. They're so small.
Are
So
you guys gonna go close to that Pascal Island in the middle of the Pacific. How do you call that island? Like there's an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Like from Hawaii, you just go south, and there is this island with big heads, statues over there.
Maybe. Oh, New Guinea.
But
Is that it?
I think
Papao?
it's
No?
something
Is
like
that
the
it?
Pascal, something like that. I forgot the name it, but they have all those big heads like in the island, and
Oh, Easter Island. Is that Easter Island, I
yes,
think?
I think it is. Yeah, I think in English that's how you say it. Yeah. I think I was saying the Portuguese version name of
Um,
that.
I don't know if I saw it, but it's all dependent on the wind, actually, which is another
Oh,
reason
okay.
I'm kind of led to, or sort of like leaning to doing this trip because it's like it's a sailboat,
Yeah,
So
true.
so we've been studying like the wind paths and stuff. Like this time of year, it will be in the Pacific, so we're looking at the Pacific the last few weeks, and there's like
Okay,
so all of that kind of depends. We got to avoid
true.
whatever I forget what they call that. Those like the dead spaces with no wind. You can get stuck. We have a motor and
Okay,
everything, but
yeah,
typically we'll be sailing.
yeah.
Um,
That's true because
but
you
maybe
have to
we'll
be
go
worried.
through that.
Yeah, you have to be worried about like, all right, there is no wind to that direction. We're gonna take too long, and how much food we have, and all sort of
Right.
these things you have to think about, right? Yeah, that's true. You don't want
Yeah.
to risk anything.
That's it. So we might have to stay in some ports for days or weeks while we wait for the right weather
Hmm.
and yeah, pick up supplies and then probably a lot of fishing
Yeah, true.
while on
A
the
lot of
way.
fishing. Yeah, yeah.
I think we'll take enough fresh water for it's like a 60-foot boat with tons of rooms and stuff. So I think we'll take enough
Okay,
water to last the whole time, whether we need it or not.
true. Yeah.
Stuff like that. And like rice and different things like cans and anything non-perishable.
Hmm. Do it,
So
man.
yeah, I want to. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
we've been planning it, so I got a few months here to,
yeah.
as long as nothing changes. I don't know. You never
Well,
know.
yeah. Give a call to Dom and CJ before you arrive there. Ask them to film you arriving in Australia with a boat. You got to
Yeah,
do that pose of yeah. So anyhow,
that's
but your
one thing
time,
too. I guess
yeah,
it's
um,
that's a long time, with like the same guys. I mean, like we'll stop in all the towns, but it's like 3 weeks crossing the Atlantic. I think something like that. Just 3 weeks on a boat with
yeah.
just a horizon in every direction.
I think it would be like you say about the same people. Maybe the hardest would be like in a small space area with the same people for a long time. That's a bit the hardest, I guess, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what skating tours were like. I did all right with those.
Hmm.
Just packing, like packing your apartment or packing whoever's apartment in each
Yeah.
town and just jamming in there for a week or two.
Yeah. 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 You'll be able to go through it when it
Yeah,
comes to that.
sleeping on the
You,
floor.
yeah. I'm going to say you're very well experienced with that kind of lifestyle, right?
Yeah. I've been doing that here now. So anyone that needs to, because I guess I always did that anyway, but especially now that I have my place, I've had lots of
Hmm.
friends come and stay for months. And my rule is just kind of like, as long as you want to and don't cause trouble, you can stay as long as you need to.
Nice.
Because that was, part of what gave me all my cool experiences. So, last summer, 2 summers ago, I had 3 people. I have one spare room, so there was one in the spare room, one on the couch, and one on the floor for like months in the summer.
Nice. But yeah, man, you gotta go around the world in a boat. Definitely. There
Yeah,
is not many people can say that, Hey, I went around the world in the boat.
yeah. As soon as he brought it up, we were just like, yes. He's like, would you guys be interested? And sure.
No, yeah, you gotta do it, man. But dude, I think we're 1 hour and a half. I one thing that I really wanted to do is to talk
Okay.
about skating with you, just the in there. But I wanted to just talk about natural, like anything about
That's
life.
cool. This was
That's
this was fun and cool.
yeah, and
I didn't know if it was what to expect. If it was like it's kind of weird to chat with your friends and record it, right?
It is. I got used to now. In the beginning, it was very strange for me to do this. Yeah. Now this is
Yeah.
going to be the episode maybe 42 now. So
Hey,
I've done,
congrats.
yeah, doing, yeah, we're going slow, but doing well. And we don't want to pace, like we don't want to push it. And also
I
we want to talk
noticed.
to it. Yeah. No, yeah, I don't like to say, man, we got to do on this time, this day, I want to make it as natural as possible, and
I
most of
swear
the
we've
times,
been talking about this for like a
yeah,
year,
maybe more.
right?
But
How many
it's all
times
good.
did we cancel? Like 10
I
cancels?
Yeah, no, yeah, I had to check the text, but no, it's all good, man. It happens when meant to happen, and then we have a good
Right.
conversation. Yeah, and then I want to do one with Note as well. He said that one day he'll do it with me, but
Okay.
I haven't. It's more like a when he's in a good state of mind. He say, "Oh, when I'm a good state of mind, I'll do it with you." All right, cool.
Yeah.
And then, but I haven't heard from him back again. Yeah, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun talking to people, but I try to not talk much about skating, but around
That's cool.
skating. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's you talking about around skating, so because we all know how you skate. So, but we want to know why you skate like that. So make different kind of questions, around it.
Yeah.
So you get a picture of why you skate like that, why you do those type of tricks, whatever. That's
Right.
much better. That I think. Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
cool, man. And
Well, we got to catch up sometime where it's not an interview. So just like you can just catch up. Like it'd be your
cool.
turn. I'll interview you, but I won't film it.
All right, cool. We do that.
Or I'll come
I'm
visit
planning to
soon.
go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if Lomax come, I mean, anytime, yeah. But I think he said he's gonna come next month, August.
Wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So plan. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. I
Yeah.
hope that I can meet him or he comes here or I come there before this boat trip.
Tell him, hey, gotta come fast. I got a boat to catch.
You know, if he's really trying to like stay here, he could take my apartment in November for 9 months.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
looking for
really?
someone
Do
to
it.
take it.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'll pass it on the message. I say, hey, I got a
All
place
right.
for you to rent in China.
Right. I gotta hit him up anyway. It's been a while. We meant to chat soon.
Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, we should be awesome if we can catch up here. We were just gonna be missing Joe, you know. But
Yeah, that was good too.
yeah, yeah,
Hey,
definitely. Yeah.
speaking of all that, you're welcome here anytime too, right? I don't know if how hard it is or easy it is for you to come over, but I got the spare room, we got the beach and the boat, and some good
Thanks a
spots.
lot, man. Thanks a lot. Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I always think about going to China. I've been to Guangzhou. I think it's
Guangzhou. Yeah, it's
Guangzhou.
like
Yeah,
2 hours from here.
yeah. It was pretty cool. Yeah, but I definitely want to go back to China. Yeah, it's a place that I always think about. I gotta check it out. You know, with my own eyes, not from like TV and what
Right.
people say about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. The TV kind of misrepresents it, but that's part
Yeah,
of the fun anyway. To come check it for yourself and
absolutely.
especially around here because it's just different than the rest of it. It's so new.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was in Hong Kong and then I went to China. Hong Kong was one thing and China was another one, so totally different. Like
Yeah.
it was. I was in the mind was, oh yeah, it's the same country, same thing. It'll be the same people and same places and same food. I was like, no, it's just totally different.
Yeah,
But
it's interesting crossing the border. It's like the cities are joined. You can walk across, but then the whole vibe changes.
and the one thing that freaked me out, like they drive on the one side of the road in Hong Kong and the other side of the road in China, right?
Yeah,
And I went from Hong
yeah,
Kong to China on a bus, and I was
yeah.
like,
And
"How
then
this
they
gonna?"
they
And
switch at the
somebody told
border.
me, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, how this thing gonna work? How is gonna work? How is the logistic with that? Because the wheel is one side. This guy wanna drive, the wheel of the bus is one side, but the road's gonna be. But yeah, everything worked out okay. Yeah, when I was like, how this gonna work? But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's very different one place to the other. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool, man. All right, man. Nice. Thanks very much for this. You didn't.
All right.
Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you
and
too.
I'll